they are the oldest stone tools found so far in the world.
Ever stumbled upon a tale so puzzling that it tickles your curiosity and keeps you up at night? The tapestry of human history is woven with threads of mysteries, some of which challenge our very understanding of the past. New discoveries paint pictures of a time long gone, but occasionally there's a piece that doesn't quite fit, shaking up the mosaic of our ancestry. Let's uncover these tantalizing historical enigmas that, for one reason or another, remain off-limits to inquiry. Number 1. Ancient alien-like skulls. Ever pondered if aliens might have once roamed our lands? Imagine stumbling across skulls that could belong in a sci-fi movie right here on Earth. That's what unfolded in Mexico, where a mystifying burial ground unveiled human skulls with an eerily alien-esque design. Rewind to a small Mexican village, 1999. Some villagers, working on an irrigation project, chanced upon the Hilario Cemetery, a relic from prehistoric times in the state of Sonora. Among the 25 interred souls, 13 bore skulls stretching long and pointy, as if out of a Star Trek episode. And if that doesn't raise an eyebrow, get this. 5 of them had teeth that looked purposefully tweaked. Dental work in ancient times, anyone? This mind-boggling find sheds light on a forgotten custom. Traditionally, Central Americans modified kids' skulls as they grew, but Hilario's discovery hints this trend was hip even up north. How'd they achieve that head-turning look? Simple, yet peculiar, by pressing wooden boards to an infant's noggin. But why? Ah, the million-dollar question. While speculations are rife, the actual reasons remain cloaked in mystery. And while these otherworldly-looking beings might ignite E.T. daydreams, rest assured, they were very much earthlings. Tantalizingly, many of these unearthed remains wore intricate sea and turtle shell ornaments, pointing to intricate burial rites. As more secrets unearth from this perplexing sight, we might just rewrite a chapter or two of our age-old tales. Number 2. The mysterious Sayre discovery. Ever thought about giants from an age long past? Or, even wilder, horned giants? Yep, you heard right. Picture this. Sayre, a picturesque little borough in Pennsylvania, not far from Scranton. Amidst its serene landscape in the hazy days of the 1880s, a curious discovery took many by surprise. While most of us find quirky coins or odd toys buried in our backyards, a group of daring Americans chanced upon something vastly more intriguing, a mound hiding the ancient remains of peculiar giants. Now, these weren't your average tall men. These behemoths, who stood majestically over 7 feet, had something downright uncanny about them. Their skulls had bony protrusions, almost like horns. Yep, these horned outgrowths sat about 2 inches above their eyebrows, giving them a rather devilish look. Unraveling this archaeological puzzle was none other than Dr. G.P. Donahoe, joined by the likes of A.B. Skinner from the American Investigating Museum and W.K. Moorhead from Phillips Academy, Massachusetts. But here's where it gets juicier. Sayre wasn't alone in its horned revelations. Imagine the shock when similar skulls started popping up in places like Wellsville, New York, and near El Paso, Texas. But why horns, you ask? From legends of leaders like Alexander the Great to depictions of deities, horns have historically been synonymous with power and grandeur. Could these ancient horned giants have been mighty rulers of their times? Or perhaps revered beings? The mysteries of the past sure have a way of keeping us on our toes. Number 3. Astonishing Piri Reis map. Ever stumbled upon an old photo album and been amazed at the memories it holds? Well, this story is a bit like that, but on a far grander scale. Imagine being in Istanbul, Turkey, in the Grand Topkapi Palace that has now turned into a museum. This isn't just any palace. It was home to influential Ottoman leaders for 4 centuries. But the real magic began in 1929. Among the vast collections, they unearthed a map crafted by a fellow named Piri Reis in 1513. Now, this wasn't just any doodle on a parchment. It was like Piri Reis had some futuristic GPS. He illustrated South America and Africa so precisely, as if he was piecing together a jigsaw puzzle. And here's the jaw-dropper. He depicted Antarctica way before it was officially discovered. Mind-boggling, right? There's even a whisper about another concealed map, supposedly crafted by none other than Christopher Columbus. Alas, it remains elusive. Today, the Piri Reis map sits gracefully in a palace library, not flaunting its mysteries to just anyone. So, if you ever find yourself wandering in Turkey, perhaps you could play detective and seek its ancient secrets. Who knows what tales it might tell? Number 4. Mysteries of the Akamaro figures. All right, gather around the campfire, folks, because you're in for an epic tale that feels straight out of a Hollywood movie. You remember that one friend who swears they saw an alien, but it was probably just a blinking satellite? Yep, that's kind of the vibe we're diving into. Now imagine the sun setting over the picturesque landscapes of Mexico's Akamaro. In this cinematic setting, Waldemar Jules Rudd, probably with a dramatically fluttering scarf, stumbles upon not one, not two, but 33,000 Akamaro figures. Picture ceramics of Dave from next door and Dino the T-Rex sipping tea together. Mind blown, cue dramatic music. The discovery set off a wildfire of debates. Were these figurines proof that ancient Aunt Edna had a pet velociraptor, or was it like when you Photoshop yourself onto the moon for those sweet internet points? Enter our skeptical hero, Charles C. DePeso, possibly in a cool hat, waving the red flag. Modern art, he proclaimed, refusing to buy the whole ancient Dino Buddy narrative. But, as with all gripping tales, there were twists. Dating experts Gary W. Carvo and Mark Shawn played detective, diving deep into the age of the figures, and honestly, the plot got more tangled than my earphones in my pocket. The story had it all: passion, drama, pottery, and a dash of, what the dino? So were these artifacts like a tantalizing trailer of an unseen ancient world? Or a modern artist's rendition of prehistoric fan fiction? The truth is still out there, waiting to be uncovered. Whether it's a genuine peek into the past or a brilliantly crafted fantasy, the Akamaro figures have sure given us a blockbuster story. Number 5, Mesolithic Cemetery Secrets. Ever played Who's That Pokemon? Well, let's play Who's That Ancestor and dive deep into Europe's ancient puzzle wrapped in dirt and mystery. Imagine being an archaeologist and you hit the jackpot in Germany, the Grossfrenwalde Cemetery. It's 8,500 years old, peeps. That's like a lot of calendar pages flipped back. Now here's where the plot thickens. Among the ancient bones and tales, 2 stories get the spotlight. First, there's this teeny-tiny 6-month-old baby's grave. Makes you wonder, right? What was life like for the little one in those ancient days? And then we've got this dude in his 20s, standing tall. Yep, standing. Most folks back then were probably like, we lie down, dude, but not this guy. And oh boy, he even had his toolkit with him. Bone and flint tools. Fancy. But wait, this standing burial isn't a solo act. They've found similar stand-up guys in far-off Russia. Makes you ponder, did these ancient folks have a secret handshake or a club? The real kicker is the blend of bones. Among the 9 skeletons, 5 were kiddos under 6. Oof, the feels, right? It paints a touching and grim scene of ancient kiddo life, and researchers are having a field day. They're diving into what diseases might have lurked and how these ancient peeps lived. And here's the spicy bit. Signs point to hunter-gatherers chilling with early farmers. Like, hey, we hunt, you farm. Let's have a picnic. But weirdly, they didn't mix much. Like 2 different school cliques from ancient times. Number 6, ancient funeral mask. All right, folks, gather round. Ever played Guess Who? Well, today's episode could be titled Guess Who's Skull? Plot twist. It's not even human. So, in the chilly lands of Siberia, tucked in the Shovsky burial mound, number 6, because 5 just wasn't enough, our hero for the day, Professor Anat Martinov, stumbled upon a fab clay mask in 1968. Fast forward a bit, and Professors Natalia and Dr. Konstantin Cooper threw their detective hats in the ring. Now, what everyone thought was a human head turned out to be, drumroll, a sheep skull. Bah, brilliant, right? But why? We all cried. Why would ancient folks pop a sheep's head into a warrior's mask? Party prank gone wrong? Professor Pohm had some theories. Maybe, just maybe, the mask was a stand-in for someone lost and never found. The sheep's skull? Kind of like a soul jar. Or maybe it was like an ancient glow-up, signifying a change in status. Now here's where it gets even weirder. Our ancient buddies like to play with clay, sculpting mummy-like dolls using real skulls, then giving them a second burial. Talk about going out in style, right? They'd pop those skeletal remains into a log house and set it alight with much fanfare. A bit dramatic? Sure. Absolutely fascinating. Oh, you bet. And while our fancy tech can't decode every secret, those whispers from the yesteryears keep us on our toes. Who knows what we'll uncover next? Sheep and warrior masks? Just another day in archaeology. All right, folks, dive deep into the mysteries of our beautiful blue planet, and you'll discover that not everything obeys the rules as we know them. From rocks that seem to hover to roads that play tricks on our eyes, we've ventured into the most baffling and gravity-defying spots today. These enigmatic locations not only challenge our understanding, but also ignite our imagination. Are they simply Earth's playful optical illusions, nature's scientific riddles waiting to be solved, or perhaps the universe reminding us of its vast complexities? Now, if you're ever fortunate enough to stand in one of these puzzling places, take a moment to relish the experience. Feel the magic, the uncertainty, and the thrill of the unknown. And as you step away, maybe you'll carry with you a piece of that mystery, a gentle reminder of our world's boundless wonders. Thank you for taking this extraordinary journey with us. Until our next adventure, keep those minds open, those hearts curious, and never stop questioning the world around you. The universe is vast and its tales are endless. Safe travels, dear explorers.